Hey, podcast listeners, I'm Gabe.
And I'm Nick.
And we host the Facing Off podcast, and we are inviting you to give our podcast a listen.
On Facing Off, Gabe and I take two movies we find to be similar, and we compare, contrast, and rate them in our own unique way. We pair movies across all genres. As long as there's a common thread between the two movies, we'll face them off. We also give these movies awards at the end of the episode. Sometimes we even rank our favorite movies based on some specific criteria.
So, after finishing this podcast, please go and listen to Facing Off, which can be found on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts simply by searching for Facing Off. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter by looking up Facing Off Pod.
Podcast is all very scientific. We don't have time to get into it right now.
I guess you'll just have to listen to find out.
I guess so.
Hi, thank you for having us on the show. Love the show. I'm My Guy Monkey from My Guy Reviews.
I'm My Guy Break. We have our own podcast. We talk about pop culture related topics. Each week we bring a new topic to the table.
A bit like your own, so if you're looking for more content like this when you're done, head over to My Guy Reviews.
We talk about movies, video games, fighting fantasy books, TV shows, and as much as My Guy Monkey hates it, we talk music as well. Type in the word My Guy Reviews
at Spotify, YouTube, and your podcast service of choice.
Today we're looking at I'll Be Home for Christmas, a 1998 family comedy film directed by Arlene Sanford. The plot follows a college student who, in order to win his father's Porsche, must make it from his campus in Los Angeles, California, to his family's home in Larchmont, New York, in time for Christmas dinner. Good morning, Vietnam! Yep, that's how I'm starting this podcast. You can't stop me. Hello, welcome to episode 8. Welcome back to the Christmas and Chill podcast. I'm here with a full cast today. We've got Luke, we've got Amy, we've got Maddie, we've got Josh. How is everyone?
Good.
Woo. Yeah, all right.
You can feel the enthusiasm just oozing through the microphone. Just everyone.
Yes.
Woo! So
100%.
excited. Oh, fantastic. We're 8 days in, guys. How are we going?
It's a lot in a week. I will say we have watched more than how many movies now? 9?
No, 8. I mean 9. You're right, 9.
9 technically, but yeah, 8 days worth of movies. Yes.
I think by the end, what do we watch? 27, 28 movies? When you count all the Santa Claus?
We've made a mistake.
We're only 8 days in, so strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen, because
it's not a mistake.
Everyone in between.
Good content.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun. Speaking of fun, let's get into today's movie. Today we watched I'll Be Home for Christmas, a movie that I added to the list. It's a movie that I remember watching as a kid, so I don't remember watching it any other time besides from when I was a kid until today. Let's go around the room. Guys, what did we think? What did we think of the movie? Maddie, you go first.
Why me? Throwing me under the bus.
I'm just saving that bingo card.
I thought it was an okay movie. I'd never seen it before. It was okay. Classic Disney film, you know what I mean? I didn't really like the main character, but he grows throughout the movie, so that's nice. I like Jessica Biel's character. She's very toothy, isn't she? She's old tooth.
You were saying
that
kiss was a toothy kiss.
It was a very toothy kiss between them.
Lots of just clinging of teeth.
Lots of just
9 out of 10 dentists really love this film.
Yeah, I like the concept of it. He was going home for the Porsche, but in the end he went home for his family. So that's nice, isn't it? Quite a classic Christmas story. Redeemable character who ends up being with his family in the end. It's classic movie trope. We've seen it from the start.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Amy? What do you think?
I thought the movie wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be pretty bad, to be honest. But, yeah, it actually wasn't that bad. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I did enjoy watching it.
Yeah. Luke, what about you, mate? What do you think of the film?
I hated this movie. It was,
of course,
and not because, and I'm not going to say because, like, overall the movie as a movie wasn't very good. But besides that, coming from the Christmas angle, I didn't get. I understand the themes and stuff, but I think the premise of having, I don't know, just the main character, I didn't like him. I honestly was like, I kind of wish you don't make it home, to be honest, because you're just not a very nice person in general. Like, I know he seemed redeemed, but it not really at the end, because he gets everything in the end.
Yeah,
so
but he didn't actually, though.
Well, no.
He didn't get the car.
He didn't.
Well,
he didn't say, he said he didn't want the car.
No, but he's going to get the car, because his dad implies that he's going to get the car anyway. So really,
through working with
it
over 30 years...
Yeah.
That's a long time to wait for a car.
Still. But, yeah.
He'll be like 40 or something by the time he even actually gets it.
Dad will be dead by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I just didn't like him. I didn't like a lot of the characters. I think the like, Jessica Biel's character I thought was kind of nice, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a change of pace. And the people he meets along the way, I thought were a lot more interesting than he was in general. Like the thief who acts stoned, even though he probably wasn't stoned. And the cop, that whole thing with the cop where he's trying to sing to his wife to get it back. I'm like, he did cheat on he did, like, you know, make out with another girl.
Yeah, but
so
then
I don't know
also
why he should get,
the guy's girlfriend made out with another girl too, and they ended up back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they weren't.
Toothy McGee.
But
Take
were they
that.
together?
Yes, they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Boyfriend and girlfriend. They were going together.
Okay.
And then she kissed another dude on national television.
Yep.
I think they were close to going steady. I don't think they were boyfriend-girlfriend. I think he was
That's what I
pursuing
thought.
her. And it was kind of like, well, they won't they? And in the end, he gets the girl.
Well, because she mentions at one point that you were a fake person and a fake boyfriend. So I assumed that they were, like, super close and nearly, like, together.
But doesn't saying him calling him a fake boyfriend make them boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah, that they would be boyfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. See, this is... The thing with the movie was, like, for me, I think it was just, I don't know, comparing it to all the other movies that we've done, like, I like Deck the Halls more than this movie. Because I think with Deck the Halls, at least I could, like, the characters were, like, the actors were pretty sympathetic, and I could understand why the characters were the way they were. This one, I was just like, okay, comedy hijinks, I guess, but I have a lot of other things, but I think that's just more, like, funny bits that I've found throughout. Also, the fact, this movie couldn't have been made today. Like, you can't make this in 2020.
I reckon you could, though. I mean, have you actually seen... Have you actually gone on Netflix and seen all the chick flicks that are out there?
Yeah, why couldn't you make it?
They are exactly the same as this movie.
What? Getting home by the time of Christmas, having to...
You just
he
need
would
to
be
see.
able to call his
You just
girlfriend.
need to see what Netflix is creating at the moment. Like, it's just as stupid.
No, I'm not talking about the. No. I'm talking about the what he had to go through to get home. I'm not talking about the movie itself. I'm talking about the plot, because the plot was really like, nowadays he could find other ways of getting there without...
I don't think so, though.
I don't know. It just
because the circumstances of him getting out into the middle of nowhere, that can happen these days, and you could be out there with no phone, all that shit.
Yeah, but the plot of The Hangover is they lose a guy. Like, they're not...
No. But what I'm saying is that they wake up in the middle of nowhere...
With nothing.
You could do that same plot. Maybe the guy's a bit older. Maybe he's passed out after a big night of drinking, ended up in the middle of nowhere, and has a deadline to get home by X amount of date. Like, that's definitely a movie that I can imagine.
Yeah. Although that plane scene where he gets on, I'm like, that wouldn't happen. There's so much security around the airport now.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
You got to suspend your disbelief for 2 minutes.
You got to just sit there and you got to enjoy it. Stop analysing.
But if I don't like the character or what he's doing, I'm like, well, what else am I going to enjoy? There were a few bits
Me
here
watching
and there
It's a
that
Wonderful
I did
Life.
enjoy, but they weren't. It was few and far between. Really.
I totally get it, because the main character does everything he can to get by without actually doing anything. He's Jeff Winger.
He's another privileged white male.
Correct. But
yeah,
and
Amy, you're smart.
it's very true. He is. I don't know. I think that when you look at it through the lens of a Christmas movie, I think it ticks all the boxes. It doesn't mean there's strong ticks, but they definitely tick the boxes. Like, there's the redeeming factor. It's like the Ebenezer Scrooge factor is there, a guy who hates, who isn't really in it for Christmas, but then through the journey that he takes, he, finds that, yeah, all right, he should be doing the right thing, and he actually wants to get there for the girl and his family and not so much the materialistic things. So from that point, I think it gives a big tick in the Christmas box. Whether the main character is likeable or not, yeah, I think that's a very different thing. What happened to him?
Josh and I have discovered that we could write a movie about Christmas using all the tropes that we've already discovered.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome.
We were talking about
It's about Josh, and he hates Christmas, and then he redeems himself, and then he no longer hates Christmas. Hey, presto, we got a Christmas movie.
So Jonathan Taylor, is that his name? Tyler Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
JT. JTT.
Taylor Thomas.
It's a shame, because he was quite big in the late 90s.
Yeah, but he's not good, though. But also, he did, his voice is very distinct. Because, when I looked up and I saw he was young Simba, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Because his voice is, you can hear his voice from anywhere. But I don't know. I haven't seen him in too many movies, so I really can't say if he's actually, a good actor, or if he's one of those actors that sort of, was in the right movies to be relatively well known. So
I'm just reading now. He took a step back from acting, and he went to Harvard and studied history and philosophy.
There you go.
Good on him.
Good work.
Oh, good on him.
So there you go.
Buddy.
Speaking of kind of how Christmassy the film is, this film, once again, it did have singing in it. Very minor singing.
It had Santa. Had a lot of Santa.
Definitely a lot of Santa.
Than
he was Santa.
He could not be Santa.
No.
Do you think that him being in a Santa suit, I guess, was it necessary to the story?
I think because it's a Christmas movie, it makes it more plausible for him to be able to do the things that he does in the movie. The fact that everyone's kind of clueless about the fact of, oh, this guy's Santa. It's in the real world that wouldn't happen. But in movie world, I could see it. It would be really hard to say do this movie in another way. You couldn't really say do this movie just without the Christmas elements, because it just wouldn't, it's just a guy hitchhiking, really. It's not really that interesting. I think him being Santa makes it a little bit more interesting of the things he can do and the things he can get away with, because everyone's sort of oh, Santa's doing this.
That's true. He gets into more hijinks. I guess it's cause and effect for the storyline for him to be in a Santa suit.
That scene where, when he's giving away the appliances to the kids in that hospital, I'm like, you couldn't do that in any other context if he wasn't Santa. And there's just a lot of stuff, I think, because he is Santa, it makes it a bit more easier for him to do things, and it just gives him a lot more to do as opposed to just, being dressed up as, something else. Also, he's not really a Christmassy type as well, because he avoids Christmas. So it's sort of a little bit of a punishment to him as well.
I think it's interesting that you mentioned that he avoids Christmas, because I think that he doesn't avoid Christmas, but he avoids family, and that's based on the fact that his mother died. I don't think he hates Christmas. I think he doesn't want to go home because obviously he's lost his mum.
No, that's why I'm saying he avoids it. Like, he avoids going home to his family
I don't think it's
during
just
Christmas.
a Christmas thing.
He
I think
tries
it's like
to find
a
ways
year-round
around it. But no, I understand that. I just more see it. Yeah, anyway.
Amy, what did you think of the facts, the whole kind of dead mother storyline? Because it wasn't touched on much, and the payoff for it, what did you think about that? Like, do you think it paid off in the end, or do you think it had a big factor, a driving factor in the movie?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the whole reason why he didn't want to go home, because he doesn't want to associate with his stepmom and all that stuff. So I feel like it was kind of needed, to be honest, because if that's the main reason why he didn't want to go home, then why? Why is he going home? Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Very, very true. Maddie, what do you think about, I think his ned was Ed.
Big Ed or whatever.
Eddie? What was the guy's name?
How he refers to himself in the third person.
Sexy Ed?
Well,
Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah, I have a question. Because Ed kissed Jessica Biel and then Jessica Biel kissed Jake, do you think Jake is susceptible to COVID?
You better not be stealing my fucking bit.
I stole it from you.
Well done, Maddie. I
thought it was good that Ed was going to be redeemable, like when he starts driving him home, and then was like, "Nah, fuck off."
No, I want to keep my 90s cool cred. I don't want to deal being too sentimental.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want you to be cooler than me. Fuck off.
Yeah, but also, like, maybe they needed that in the movie, because the main guy was supposed to be the nice guy, so they needed a dickhead guy in there too.
But I liked that the bully was going to redeem himself, and then they were like, "Nah."
Was the main character?
I'm going to drive this story along.
Was the main character supposed to be a nerd, or was he supposed to be kind of? What was he? Because he helps out
kind
the
of
jocks,
cool, kind of chill.
He hangs out with them. It was really weird.
But he didn't. He wasn't a jock because he didn't hang out with them.
He was basically Josh in high school.
In between everybody.
Nothing in particular.
So what he was actually doing was he was like the guy who helps the jocks out. So they go to him and say, "Hey, I've got this test.
Yeah.
Get me the results or whatever."
And he's like, "I'm cool. I'm a bad guy. I'll cheat for you."
Any opportunity to make $1.
I feel sorry for his mate that gets locked in the locker, and two, just because he's... Like, he doesn't really get, one, much time in the movie, and two, it's kind of like he just kind of gets thrown under the bus. Like, I feel sorry for the guy. I'm just like, yeah.
Well, at least he didn't get the Santa suit glued to his face and then chucked in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
That scene where he was in the desert and there was a vulture around, all I could think of was him as Simba. It was him as Simba. When he's alone in the desert and there's vultures around. That was him as Simba. I thought it was like
to be honest, that was my favourite part of the movie, was the little interaction between the two vultures. I was like, that's really cute. I liked that. But other than that, no. I don't know.
At the end of the movie, when he goes to Jessica Biel's house first before going to his family's house, do you think... I personally think that kind of took me out of the whole storyline for a small moment, because the driver, in my opinion, was getting home for family, not getting home to her. Maddie, do you think that was the same case? Do you like is that how you feel? Do you think he should have gone home first instead of going to the girl's place? Or do you think that...
The reason he was going home early to his family was to get the car. So him going to his girlfriend to prove that he really did like her was proving that it wasn't about the Porsche, it was about redeeming himself.
For sure.
To his girlfriend and to his family.
So it was kind of a win-all situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he does admit that the reason that he's going to home is not for her, it's for the Porsche. And that's like when they're in the Bulgarian hotel thing. The traditional... Which was a weird side note. A traditional Bulgarian town hotel. Bulgarian, sorry. I thought it was Bulgarian. Town,
I thought it was a German town.
Hotel thing, which I found was a little odd, but I don't know. But yeah,
I think if you look at this through the scope of like a late 90s Disney produced movie where you take a young, attractive male actor of the time and you pump it out, you take the typical girl next door in Jessica Biel, you take that guy that's, that young eye candy for kind of that youngish teenager audience. Do you think that the film was... So we've talked about the movie and kind of that. Do you think it was good considering what it aimed to do? Or do you think that the movie was just kind of trash?
This is aimed at Amy. Were you a big Lizzie McGuire fan growing up?
Yes.
I found the character to be like Gordo.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
He was trying to be like this cool bad boy, but I thought he was like Gordo from bloody Lizzie McGuire for some reason.
Yes.
That's a really good point that you bring up. Like, is that what they were trying to emulate? That kind of Lizzie McGuire?
It feels like kind of 10 Things I Hate About You kind of vibe, where it's like they want to do something that's teenager orientated, that's a little cute, an unusual premise with a Disney budget, really, because it is made by Disney, so it is like
this is a totally different. Like, this is not Disney, but it gave me the vibe of like those TV shows like Zoe 101 and like Drake and Josh, and like those
really sort of tweenish, not even teenager. It's that in between age. Yeah.
Like that very early 2000s like stuff for young teens, like live action. There was another Lizzie McGuire, like Hannah Montana, that sort of stuff. Like it felt kind of, it could have been a TV movie, but it had a bit more of a budget. I think it was a TV movie. No, they put it in cinemas. It was a flop, as I found out. It made, hold on, just give me a sec.
Yeah, it wasn't great because I remember watching it on the Disney Channel as a kid. That was my first exposure to it, was through the Disney Channel. But
if you actually think about it and think about the time it came out, Disney was making movies and TV shows like that anyway. Like that's what they were producing.
Yeah. So the movie made, so the budget was $30 million, which, for the time makes a lot of sense if it's in the theaters. It only made back 12.2, so it was a bomb. Like, no one saw this movie at all. And
yeah. But hey, I mean,
that's
okay.
I understand.
I mean,
it's
it's definitely not a success, and because it's, I mean, when you think about it, it's not a movie that I don't think any of you guys, apart from me, had heard of before. Is that right? So it's, you know what I mean? It doesn't have like an everlasting legacy as being this big Christmas classic, but like some of the picks that we've got on this list, I think I put this on here for the nostalgic reasons. And it was interesting watching it again, I guess, through the lens of an adult now and not a child.
Actually, how old would you have been when you would have seen it? You would have been about 7 or 8, yeah? Because you were born in 92?
Yeah,
91? Yeah, 92.
Correct. Yeah,
so you would have been about 6 or 7 when you saw it, I would assume.
No, I think I saw it late. I don't think I saw it when it first came out. So I think I would be like 8 or 9. I remember being young, though. But yeah, I think that, it's not the worst movie on this list that we've done so far. Thank you. I also don't think it's the best, but I think it's smack bang in the middle for me. Personally.
I think for a movie like that, which if I was going to change the movie a little bit, I would create a little character development throughout. It's only in the last third of the movie where he actually starts to change. Every other time, it's just I've got to do this, and yeah,
but
I don't know.
I feel like he changes throughout the movie.
Yeah, I think it's gradual.
Because he does little things like going to the hospital and being Santa there, and then helping the police officer at the diner. Like, he's doing things throughout the whole movie that's showing that he's changing from what he was before.
That with the intent of you don't really see the change, is what I'm trying to say.
But maybe that's the point. Maybe it's a gradual thing. Maybe, yeah. Because I'm kind of along the same thinking of Amy. I thought that the reason that he changed wasn't because he actively went to change, but because he was forced into all these crazy situations that forced him to do better things.
I mean, it just takes it back to like the Christmas Carol. He didn't choose to go around and view all the past, future and present. He was forced to do it. So isn't that the same thing as what's happening in this movie?
Though, like the reason he goes, like going from past, present, and future, that makes sense. If he's getting,
how does that make sense? He's
like,
ghosts.
No.
They're angels.
Like
that's less realistic.
Like I'm not saying it's supposed to be realistic. I'm just saying from a story perspective, the movie's paced better that way because okay, like. Obviously, there are other outside forces saying, this guy needs to change. But the only way we can do it is by showing the past, present, and future in order for him to see his full life. This movie was just more like, the only time I really saw character development was when he kind of realized that maybe getting the tickets for his girlfriend when he was talking to the cop's wife, that, maybe you should... hopefully that couple you were talking about actually, get together and stuff. He sort of saw it. Maybe it's just the acting. I don't know. That he didn't sell it for me. I don't know. I have a quick question. Who would be who in the movie?
I want to be Jessica Biel's character. I'm all teeth. Also, she likes punching people, and that's me too.
That's true. I would like to be the Ethiopian marathon runner.
No, Jamaican. No, Kenyan, actually. He said Kenyan. He asked him if it was Kenyan, and he's like, yes.
You were the stoner driver, don't even. You were the guy who crashed into him.
Also, the one who stole all those appliances. I think
that guy.
I think I'm the cop. The one who, wants to get his wife back.
Who cheated on Amy? What?
He didn't cheat, as he says in the movie.
He did.
I don't know.
You just said before
Maybe
he
not.
cheated.
Nah. Well, I'm not going to be Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Don't be the cop.
No.
Yeah, don't be the cop.
No, I'm not. I don't know who it'd be. Who would you be, Amy?
I don't even know.
Do you want it? There wasn't too many female characters, so it doesn't
You're
really...
Carolyn, the stepmom.
That bitch.
No, you can be the...
She's lovely!
What about the stepsister?
You mean, I'm pretty sure it's not a stepsister, it's an actual sister.
I think it's a real sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always, the way she was talking to him, it sounded like there was a kind of a stepsister. Didn't really want him... Yeah, I don't know.
No, that was just her being a bitch. That's what sisters do.
I think that's just...
That's what siblings are.
I was like, that's just... Yeah, brother and sister dynamic.
Yeah, exactly.
Amy, we wouldn't know. We're older sisters. We're lovely.
No, that's me and Taylor to a T. That's...
So, who am I then?
Luke, I reckon you should be the mayor.
All right, I'll take the mayor. He's a nice guy. He gives to charity. We'll go with that.
Speaking of Luke being the mayor.
Mayor.
B-E. Luke, speaking of
Fucking
you,
take my segment
how many
and then
Christmas
do
hats
your
would
own
you give
segment.
this out of 10?
I don't know what's happening here.
I don't want to ever watch this movie again. I'm going to give it a 2. I'm giving it a 2.
This is the man whose favourite movie is not a Christmas movie.
Hey,
the thing is, this
is
gonna...
a Christmas movie. It's just not enough Christmas for you guys.
The thing is, this is going to go on for the whole rest of the time. I reckon I'm going to call it now, and he's going to say 2, 3 for all the other movies.
No, this one
Apart
I'm
from
giving
his
it.
own.
All right, let me state my case. I think this is a 2.
Okay, Amy, how many Christmas hats out of... No, you're fine. You can go.
No,
you can go.
I see it. The Christmas stuff is there. The themes are there. I just don't think it's a good movie. I don't really think it's a good Christmas movie. It didn't really make me feel like it was Christmas. It was more... The best way to describe it is it was more of a holiday movie than an actual Christmas movie.
But
the best way
I
could
also
describe.
feel like this just isn't your type of movie. And I'm not saying that from a...
And that's okay.
No, but yeah, I did genuinely give it a go. I watched it with Mum, And even Mum was... And my mum is really hokey when it comes to the... she watches all of the Christmas movies, good or bad. And even she was like, that was not great.
Amy, what about you? How many Christmas hats out of 10?
I think I'm going to give it a 5, like in the middle, because it wasn't the best movie, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I still enjoyed watching it. And it did put me in the Christmas cheer. So,
hey,
yes, 5
we love
out of 5.
that. Hey, Josh, how many Christmas hats out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 6. About the same as Deck the Halls for me. I think it was fairly middle of the road movie. I wouldn't say it was the best movie. I'm not going to say it's the worst movie that I've watched, but it did enough for me as a viewer to make me think about Christmas and enjoy Christmas and remember why Christmas is so good. And if it gives me those 3 ticks, then I'm probably going to like the movie in some way, shape or form. So it was a 6 for me.
Yeah,
what about
fair
you,
enough.
Mads?
I'm going to go with Amy and give it a 5. Very middle of the road. I enjoyed it. Wasn't the best movie or acting I've ever seen. No, that's okay though. I like a little bit of Christmas in a movie, and that was fine for me. Also, we were discussing last night about how Martin Freeman and Tim Allen seem to be the Christmas guys. Well, Will Ferrell is in Elf and also Daddy's Home too, so he's in 2 movies. And also Emma Thompson is in Love Actually and The Last Christmas.
It's going to be great. Amy, I think it might be time for your segment. Mate, do you have a fun fact for us tonight?
Yeah, so apparently the Star of Bethlehem that was guiding the wise men was actually believed to be either a comet or Uranus.
Who's Uranus?
Wait, does Uranus...
Uranus?
The planet.
The
planet's Uranus.
Does Uranus shine? Like, I know Mars, you can see Mars from Earth.
Scientifically, yours does.
Yeah.
That's the moon.
No, I'm only asking because I'm like, I know you can see Jupiter.
Hey, don't
I'm not questioning.
I
think Saturn and
yes, you are.
I think
exactly
Jupiter and Saturn are going to be visible soon. I read.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just asking, like, because I wouldn't have thought that Uranus being that far out, you'd be able to see it, but maybe I'm wrong. I probably am wrong.
If Uranus is that far out, you need to get new pants, mate.
Well, I can't see it. I need a mirror to see that, so...
Okay, Uranus can be glimpsed as a naked eye object by people who are blessed with good eyesight and a clear, dark sky.
So you can see Uranus. Jeez.
Yes.
God, you two are children.
It's Christmas. The more I watch these movies, the happier I become. So I'm definitely embracing the childlike
I will say,
spirit.
after your guys' episode yesterday about nativity, I'm like Josh. I think I'm slowly becoming, watching these Christmas movies, I'm slowly liking Christmas more and more.
It's good.
I'm getting there. I'm like Martin Freeman. Ever since dating Amy, it's been Christmas is making me feel better. So
that's cute.
Right, okay, so
good.
Mailbag time. We do have a mailbag question this evening, and it's a response to a question that we've already answered on the podcast before. This is a follow-up question, so I'll read this out now. Hi, Christmas and Chill. Thanks for responding to my previous question. You've mentioned that Christmas is a time of redemption, where the downtrodden have a moment to reflect and appreciate what they have, and the wicked a chance to change their ways. Which contemporary pop culture or political figure would make the best central figure for a Christmas redemption movie, and how would they be redeemed? Love, Mitchell.
It's Kevin Rudd, but Home Alone.
Oh my God.
Redemption arc if I ever heard one.
Okay, but who is he fighting off?
He's fighting off the Murdoch media.
So why Ruddy in the house?
He's been left alone by his Labour Party, and then the Murdoch media are trying to grab him. So he has to fend them off with the Royal Commission. Yeah, so he sets up all these obstacles for his Royal Commission, and then
I like it.
Rupert Murdoch gets a It's
I love it.
attacked with it.
Amy, have you got anyone in mind?
No, not really. I'm not going to add to this, to be honest. I'm not very knowledgeable on that area, to be honest.
That's all right. Luke, do you have anything in mind?
I'm just trying to think of something. If you've got something, go ahead. I'm just trying to...
I do. I'm going to go with Corey Worthington.
Yes.
The party boy from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he just throws a big Christmas rager. And he has to try and make sure that everyone has a good time at the party. And along the way, he meets all his druggy friends. And, he has, the Christmas of, rave nights past and shit. And
Rave nights past, present.
Is it like that movie, The Office Christmas Party or something? Apparently.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's kind of
the
where
one
my
we
brain
didn't
is
put
going.
on our list.
Yeah, that one. But yeah, Luke, do you have anyone in mind, mate?
I'm blanking. I'm trying to think of... I was gonna do something with I'll be coming home. I was gonna put a character in the Jonathan Taylor Thomas's shoes. I'm trying to think. I might ask if I can maybe come back tomorrow and have an answer. Because that's a really good question, and I don't want to squander it with a kind of crappy answer. So,
and if you would like to ask us a question there, listeners, you can do so a couple of different ways. So you can leave us an email at mailbag.christmasandchill@gmail.com. You can also jump on our Instagram and leave a comment or DM us. We're always happy to answer you on there. That's at Christmas and Chill Podcast. We also have a Facebook page that's on Facebook. Search for us, Christmas and Chill. And lastly, we do have our podcast out on a couple of different streaming platforms at the moment. So we've got Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, also Apple Podcasts. And it would be really helpful if you do listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. Give us some stars, leave us a review. Just tell us what you think. If you hate it, let us know. If you love it, let us know. But also, if you hate it, maybe just don't let us know. Even though I said that, maybe don't.
That part grows every time.
But yeah,
What kind of fake laugh was that?
One thing I did want to say, at work now, because we're close to Christmas, instead of writing ha 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 in Skype chats, we have to write ho ho ho.
That's bad. I love it.
It's really good. We've been doing it all the time. And on that note, thanks so much for listening, people. We will catch you tomorrow.
what's the movie tomorrow for the listeners?
Tomorrow's movie
it's a good
is
one.
Elf.
Wait, Elf, like the Will Ferrell movie?
Yes, Elf Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about it more tomorrow night. Tune in tomorrow, guys, when we review Elf. Have a good one, guys. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.